Laura's here now.
Hi, Laura.
Luke, Josh, it's fantastic to meet you.
It's great to meet you.
Thank you for bringing Beauty and the Beast back into my life 26 years later.
Oh,
it was
thank you.
as amazing as the first time, so it was wonderful.
Were you 1 when it came out?
No, I was a little older. I was 5, so I could appreciate it. I probably appreciated it a little bit longer in later years, but I think my parents were annoyed at it at that stage, so they probably limited it to once a week.
I was 10 when it came out, and I remember it just leaving such a giant wake of influence in my life. And I remember seeing the audience applaud at the end of numbers like Be Our Guest and Gaston, and being like, what is this thing that I'm watching?
Was it that moment you realized, I want to play LeFou?
I wrote a letter to then Michael Eisner, who ran Disney, and I said, listen, I know that 25 years from now, the opportunity will arise.
I know, because I've been there.
I'm like Amy Adams in Arrival.
Yeah, Flight of the Navigator.
I've seen it. Flight of the Navigator. Great movie.
I love that movie.
Yes, yeah. No, I always dreamed of doing something like this.
Yeah. And
it's a total gift. Yeah, go on. You ask.
No.
What was it like for you? When did you realize you were going to
I realised when I was 5 that I'd go on to interview you. So I've actually had these questions. It's quite old, yeah. But you know what's really interesting is that I liked G, and I hated that I liked G, because I didn't like Gaston. Do you know, like, you were really likeable in, like, the best villain.
See, that's why by the end of the film you really are sort of questioning your own moral compass, right? You're thinking,
but aren't the great sort of, you know, like, crazy leaders like that the likable, influential types who you sort of, they're disarming and charming.
They have to have that.
And I think that's what makes Gaston so potent, and that's why so many people are willing to blindly follow him. Into, you know, feeding into their fear.
Yeah.
And it's...
he does that extremely well. That's how he's managed to feed his ego so well in this village, because he manages to force everybody to listen to his stories, and with the backup of his compatriot here, you know, this is a big fish in a little pond is how I like to describe him, and people sort of love him for that.
I do have a bone to pick with you, though. There's one scene that was not in the movie.
Oh, what, the eggs?
Carrying the 3 women up on the...
Come on, did you see what I did, though?
I know,
Come on.
Did you even try?
I know
you got 2
people on my shoulders.
I mean,
while singing atop whatever note that is.
Yeah, it's pretty...
Yeah, I know. Don't worry. I won't lose sleep. It's just, you know...
Just upset you,
right? I'll cry later on.
He was an animated character, just to remind you.
Are you going to ruin my childhood right now?
Just so you know, there's no...
why I didn't swallow 5 dozen eggs either.
There's no gravity. There's no gravity in animated movies.
Damn it. I think your character could have a prequel or a sequel, LeFou.
Thank you.
I really do.
LeFou 2.
LeFou 2.
I think you should talk to my agents.
I will go.
I think you should make a money offer.
I have another letter
and then
here.
We'll
we'll
go
talk.
from there. I think that they're, as long as they're, you know, great stories to tell, then we'll tell them. And I would go back into battle with this man any day of the week. He's amazing, and this entire cast from top to bottom was one of the most special casts I think ever assembled, and it was such a joy coming to set every day, because it almost felt like you were going to like camp. Like, just, you know what I mean?
It's funny, you usually are waiting for the bell to ring in a way, sometimes on a film set, because they're long days, you know, they're exhausted. I remember they shout cut for the final day, and everyone would be walking off, and we'd all still be chatting there with Bill, talking about some, going to look at another set that had just been finished, or, you know, it had that environment, and that's very special. Yeah, it wasn't made up. It wasn't. No. They weren't pumping opium through the vents. We were as happy as it was.
They weren't. I was.
And just finally, Josh, you said recently you were in Dublin, so you love it.
I love that city so much. I had such a wonderful time, and we didn't. We actually explored. We went. Forgive me for not knowing the names, but I do have pictures.
Wow.
We went to a lot of places. My buddy Leslie Odom and I, who's shooting Murder on the Orient Express with me. And why don't we do a test? Why don't you tell me where I went?
Okay.
Largest waterfall.
Torque Waterfall? That's not near. Or up in the Glendalough area?
Glendalough.
Glendalough.
Very good. Do you know where this is? random forest.
It's going to be
A lot of trees.
Okay, you're not very... Do you know where that is?
Glendalough as well, no?
Mm-hmm.
It's going to be...
Glendalough is
They're
fantastic.
3 pictures back from the
That's
other
it.
ones, so he's sort of giving you a clue.
No, it was amazing. We
Did
really
you drink
had,
lots of Guinness?
Oh my God, we drank a lot of Guinness.
It tastes different there.
Amazing. Good photographer.
So beautiful.
So beautiful.
Ireland is just... Would you guys have me? I
Please.
drove by Bono's house. Right on the
Castle.
coast.
Yeah.
Is it a castle?
It's just a giant wall, so I can only imagine what's behind it.
Do you remember when I showed you pictures on my phone once?
Of what?
In rehearsals, do you remember?
Yes, I do remember. Thanks for reminding me of that. Now is not the time to remind me of that.
Guys, thank you
yes.
so much.
Thank
you are
you.
welcome in Ireland to become a resident. I'll give you a passport if you
Please,
want. And
thank
too, if you'd
you.
like. And the movie, fantastic.
Think of the one thing you've always wanted. Now find it in your mind's eye and feel it in your heart.